Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of the universe. You playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory that is life, that is within us all. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Inspired Word Cafe. I love that quote. I think it's one of the best set of words written because I think it's so accurate and so true. We have been conditioned our whole lives to fear our light and not to shine and to dim it down, particularly females of the species. And I invite you, that's why I think this poem is brilliant. And to my friend Angela, a lot of people think and credit this poem actually to Nelson Mandela, but it's actually by Marianne Williamson. And Nelson Mandela used it in his inaugural speech. So it's not Nelson, and me the first one to tell you that. Anyway, welcome to another taping of the IWC show on Shaw TV, and we're so grateful to be here at Shaw. We're so grateful to stand before you and for those at home. We have an amazing show tonight, so I'm just gonna cut down the rhetoric and just jump right into it. One of our favorites of the IWC family, what we affectionately call our resident teacher, Heather Crown is with us tonight, and she has got some special gifts with her, and this is why I think that poem was apropos to start the show with. She's brought some of her students, some of her young ones, to share their light and their brilliance with us here tonight and those at home. So without further ado, I think she's one of the best teachers going. I just love what she does. I've had the opportunity to go up to Studio 9 to work with her and her students. I know Erin is now doing the same, and she's having the same experience. Without further ado, I invite you to put your hands together for tonight's feature, and it is my absolute pleasure to bring it to the mic, Miss Heather Crown.
The first poem I'm going to start with, it's the oldest one, and it's called Lost. It's dark. I can't see the way out. My stomach sinks. And I don't understand how my darkness can be so many others' light. As we get closer and closer, my apprehension grows. I can't calm my heart or put a smile on my face. I feel trapped in the open. Looking around, I see that so much has changed, but really, nothing has changed. Time has just continued in a place I left behind. I have grown and moved on, and they seem to be content in my past. I'm on alert, never letting my guard down. I'm amicable, but by no means friendly. Wishing I could just relax, I soon find myself looking for a way out. My only way out is to escape and come out of the darkness. That means walking away from the past and moving into the present. Only then can I move forward. This is one of my more recent poems, and it's called Words. Words are not just words. Words can and do mean so much. There are words of joy and words of hate and everything in between. There are words that color a rainbow bright and words that color the deepest, darkest depression. There are words that describe birth and words that describe death. There are also fast words and slow words. Many words help describe the past, and so many words try to predict the future. Words are a universal entity, and humans are born to tell stories. Words can be used to pick people up or keep people down. Words are the keeper of truth. Be true to your words. This poem was inspired off of a TV commercial of Cindy Crawford and her product, Meaningful Beauty. We are a society filled and refilled with impatience. As we move forward with technology, we step away from humanity. More and more, we plug in just to check out. We have no problems thoughtlessly filling inboxes with spam, a forward of a forward of a forward of a grumpy cat. We have no problems getting a prescription to connect with ourselves so we can refill the love of family lost to each other by staying connected to everyone else. We have no problems shopping for phones, for TVs, for computers, for youth, that we overlook the meaningful beauty of everyday life. It's so much easier to focus outward for happiness, for blame, for redemption, than it is to search inward for humility, humanity, patience, and love. Unplug from technology and check back into humanity. Just get off the grid. I wrote this one at the beginning of last year, actually last January, and I know a couple of my students will definitely know what I'm talking about. This one's called Ode to a Stage Manager. Away from the lights, costumes, and words lurks a quiet person who's seldomly heard. They cross the division between the light and the dark, who keeps the show going with enthusiasm and spark. It's not the director. His job's way more fun. His job is to get the actors to run. He shows the actors what to do and what to say. At the end of it all, it's his yay or nay. It's not the actors who steal the show. The applause is for the actors, that we all know. They bring the show to life with costumes and props, but the show must go on even if one of them drops. It's not the costumes or props or the rest of the crew. All those people work hard, of course, yes they do, but none of them dare the stage manager's job. It's not a job for a lark, a snitch, or a snob. From beginning to end and early to late, hard work and dedication is the stage manager's fate. Meetings and blocking, phone calls and emails, a stage manager's kit will fix all that ails. Paperwork and reports, cues upon cues. There really isn't anything a stage manager can't do. So once the show is ready, or the show must go on, they are the people who get the baton. So thank the stage manager who's there from the start, for they love their job and they take it to heart. I'm going to finish my set. I guess I'd like to call it my signature poem. It's a found poem. It's Tim McGraw's Live Like You Were Dying and Leanne Womack's I Hope You Dance. And it's entitled And, a Found Poem. Time is a wheel in constant motion, always rolling us along. Tell me, who wants to look back on all the years and wonder where those years have gone? He said, I was in my early 40s with a lot of life before me, and a moment came that stopped me on a dime. I spent most of the next days looking at the x-rays, talking about the options, and talking about sweet time. And I asked him, when it sank in, that this might really be the real end. How's it hit ya when you get that kind of news? Man, what'd you do? And he says, I went skydiving. I went Rocky Mountain climbing. I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu. And I warned him, I hope you dance. And he said, all of a sudden, going fishing wasn't such an imposition. And I went 3 times that year I lost my dad. I sighed, I hope you dance. And he said, I was finally the husband that most of the time I wasn't. And I became a friend would like to have. And I smiled, I hope you dance. And he said, I took a good, long, hard look at what I'd do if I could do it all again. And I'd love deeper, and I spoke sweeter, and I gave forgiveness I'd been denying. And he said, someday, I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. I understood. I hope you dance. Friends, I hope you dance. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. I hope you never get to lose your sense of wonder. You get to fill the eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. That's it for me. Now I'm going to start bringing up some of my students. The first one I'm going to call up is Zoe. She wrote this song last year.
So the end of my fairy tale was to see things out of reach, worlds that wind not forever, looking to where they must lead. And I know what I seek must be waiting for me. While the skyline was whistling, moving on forward, ocean blue of wonder, watching waves that might turn. I will let you peer inside my mind. I have no fear of my thoughts, of the crown that I will wear, brought to me by the one who told me I could not. While the skyline was whistling, moving on forward, ocean blue of wonder, watching waves that might turn. I put it in my hands. Wicked was all I had. I put it in my hands, and I'm keeping it all now. While the skyline was whistling, moving on forward, ocean blue of wonder, watching waves that might turn. Thank you.
Next up, we have Jeremy with his poem about music.
Music is what drives the soul. Music makes things happen in life. Music drives you to do what you want to do. Music makes the world go around. Music makes a soul do things that are sometimes crazy. Music is the attribute to the world. Music is what makes your body move. Music makes relationships. Music is what guides you through life. Music was created to do things that are out of this world. Music flows through the body. Music is the passion that everybody listens to. Music in this world is out of this world. Music in our bodies is like a potion for the mind. Music makes life look beautiful. Music makes the sky look bigger. Music focuses you. Music is the inspiration of the world. Thanks.
Next up, we have Colby with his yet-to-be-titled poem.
We are all on a quest to cure an assumed curse, the curse of loneliness, truth concealed, hidden. We lie to fight the loneliness which feeds the lonesome soul.
Next up, we have the brilliant work of Ruby. And the only thing I'm going to preface with this is she wrote this in 10 minutes.
Cold on a lonely night of no use. I, the phone of 6+, still and off. Always thinking and searching for the answer, yet always slowly dying. Battery life is a cancer. Looking and logged onto the book of face, searching through a wild safari, I gaze at the tube of you, watching, waiting. I now understand the answer of life, the reason for my being, the internet. It may be for staying connected or waiting to be heard. Otherwise, just wait for your shot of 15 minutes of fame, you meme. Thank you.
Next, I'm going to bring up Ben, and this is his first year at Studio 9, so he's already a pro.
Studio 9 is a very unique school. Believe me, it is really quite cool. And if you listen to me tell you why, you must believe that I will not lie. There are an abundance of courses like foods and band, and you can trust that the teachers will gladly lend a hand. This school also provides a fun, independent way to learn. I also guarantee that the teachers aren't stern. Studio 9 is truly unlike any other place you've been. No one there is ever mean. At the theater, Studio 9 puts on some amazing shows. You might just think that you're watching the pros. We get to build all of our own props. Sometimes, we even make mops. Studio 9 is really quite small, but that doesn't mean it's bad at all. The school provides an amazing atmosphere. It'll make you have a great year. At Studio 9, we contribute to causes like We Day. That gives us all a great reason to say yay. But most of all, Studio 9 is providing me with a bright future job. Hopefully, one that won't give me a head throb.
For our final performance this evening, I have a fantastic group of 3. They have written about life in middle school. Ava, Piper, Chloe.
Hi, I'm Ava.
I'm Piper.
I'm Chloe.
And our poem is called Middle School 101. It's just a normal day at school. You're in second period. You're sitting in Mrs. T's class while she's teaching you about fossilized rats that will have nothing to do with life. Why don't teachers just teach kids about important stuff? For example, how to make money so you can eat and sleep and grow and live in mansions with turtles next to an infinity pool.
Can't they just teach people the normal stuff? Anyways, she is teaching us everyone about nothing, and you're still sitting at your desk being bored out of your mind. Then you hear your best friend say something, you look over to them and you ask them,
Wake up, it's time to wake up.
your mom is yelling at you from downstairs to wake up for school.
Survival tip number 1. When waking up, it's important to challenge yourself. Set your alarm 10 to 30 minutes earlier. Time how fast you get out of bed, and try to beat the last time you did it. And lastly, never hit snooze. It's a death trap. Well, maybe once in a while.
After your mom got you out of bed, you have breakfast and then go back upstairs to get ready.
Survival tip number 2. The best way to pick the perfect outfit for school is to pick it out the night before. Think about what's going on your day and check the weather. If it's cold, wear something warm and vice versa. But if you suffer from chronic procrastination and you would rather watch Netflix and stay in bed, then
You're screwed. So now your mom is yelling at you to hurry up because you're going to be late for school. And you're going to be late for the bus or any form of transportation that you go to school in. You run, you grab all your stuff, but you probably drop 10 of your books along the way. You race to the corner of the street. The bus door closes. As you're running after it, it turns the corner. As you're left alone, standing there on the corner, yelling at the bus in despair. No, wait for me.
Survival tip number 3. You missed the bus. Great job. Now, just call your mom or dad. Sure, they'll get mad at you because you interrupted their day, and you'll probably get in trouble, but it's worth it because...
Mom, Beyonce might perform at the cafeteria, and there might be a big spelling bee, or the person that I've had a crush on since grade 2 finally realized that they like me. And Mom, do you really want me to miss school?
And now your mom says yes.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mom.
So you called your parents. Yes, they're mad, but you got to school. So you walk into Mr. Y's class and sat down. You start off pulling out your English books, but all of a sudden, Mr. Y yells,
"Pop quiz!"
All the kids whine in disappointment as they ask,
Why, Mr. Y?
And no headphones allowed,
said Mr. Y, but all the kids thought different.
Survival tip number 4. If you can't possibly read or work without Beyonce blasting in your ears, then here's a tip for you. Keep your phone in your pocket and run your headphones through your shirt and sleeve and hold it in your hand. And then put the headphone up to your ear.
You finished the pop quiz, but probably failing most of it. After second period, it's time for lunch. Your cafeteria probably has the worst food you could ever imagine, and if you eat it, you'll get really bad food poisoning and die. Usually, you pack a lunch, but you were running late, and so you didn't have time.
Survival tip number 5. Make sure you always have money in your bag, because if you're allowed off school grounds, you can go to the nearby convenience store, or you can just buy food off your classmates. And now you can have a happy lunch.
After lunch, you make your way down the hall towards your next class. In third period, you're sitting at your desk daydreaming while your teacher's talking about whatever they're talking about. Now you're having trouble focusing, and when you can't focus, you tend to jump around and fiddle with things. But of course, your teacher hates it and tells you to stop.
Survival tip number 6. When you can't focus in class, all you need to do is grab some Play-Doh or some clay and just start playing around with it. Why not start molding animals or something cool? You can totally show off to friends, and why not show them how cool you really are?
You just went through fourth period, and now you're just ready to go home and sleep. Once you get home, you're getting ready for a relaxing night with your computer, but all of a sudden you realize you need food.
Survival tip number 7. Previously, before you get hungry, make sure there's always food in your room, such as trail mix, granola bars, chips, and maybe even some water. But make sure the food doesn't need to be refrigerated.
Now you're happy, not hungry, and right before you doze off into a deep sleep, you remember you have to do the same routine every day for 4 more years.
Now that's just life saying it hates you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Heather Crown and all of the wonderful students from Studio 9. You guys were amazing. Can we give them another big round of applause?
Thank you for having us. It was really fun.
So normally we would do a really thrilling interview, which I would just drill you with questions, Heather, but you've been let off tonight, easy, so I'll save it for tomorrow when I come to your classroom. Heather, can you tell me just last little closing remarks about Studio 9 and your own version of Inspired Word Cafe that you were briefly telling me about?
We do our own version of Inspired Word Cafe. We hold it actually at the Streaming Cafe. We call it Free the Word. And those students lucky enough or conscripted to be in my class all get to write their own original works. So this year we performed our 3rd annual show.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay, you guys, and when does that happen normally?
It usually happens in January.
January. Okay.
We're looking next year possibly changing it up though and doing it in the fall.
Cool. Very cool. Well, that's a wrap for our show tonight. You can find more of us at inspiredwordcafe.com and on YouTube, Inspired Word Cafe. Thanks again to Studio 9 and to you wonderful audience members. Have a good night.